and we're talking about Season 7, Episode 20 of the Haves and Have-Nots. The Reaping. Did you see it? I saw it. Yes, I did. And you know this was our season finale. It's their season finale, and it started off, you know, with Uncle Vinny and Wyatt, and they cut his wrist, and Wyatt's begging for, you know, I don't want to die. Please don't do this. I have jewelry. I have money, you know. And Vinny's like, nah. He's like, call my mom. He's like, your mom said she's not paying a dime for your raggedy behind. And Vinny's like, I don't understand. He's like, wait. And he's like, call my dad. He was like, your dad? He was like, but that's what with you. He said, I got money. I got jewelry. He's like, what am I do with that stuff? You know, he was like, that's what you rich people. Y'all think money can fix everything. You know, he's like, you think money could fix you stabbing me in my neck and leaving me to die? You think money could fix? Anyway. So, you know, Wyatt just was begging and pleading, I don't want to die. And they said they're going to leave him in a car to die. So, that was the last we saw of them. Then they went to Candace and Mitch. And this I don't understand. Candace and Mitch are on the phone. And Mitch is like, I've been trying to reach you. How Candace usually good at answering her phone. So, are we, with her being asleep, is that what pregnant people do? Is that they trying to work in there that she was so tired, she been sleeping all this time? But he just now calling. Meanwhile, we know Benny done been to the Cryer's house, whipped Derek's behind, and now he's gone again. I'm like, what was Candace doing all this time? Anyway, I tell you. So Candace and Mitch are talking, and he's like, Benny is pissed. He found out. He's mad. How did he find out? I don't know how he found out. I swear he told him how he found out, but he said he didn't. And he's like, you know, you the one that asked me to lie. She's like, I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll just tell him it was my fault. I told you to lie. He said, no, don't do that, because then he's going to know. He's going to wonder why we're so tight. And she's like, well, that's okay. So, as I said before, Benny doesn't know that Mitch and Candace used to date, basically. I guess that's what he doesn't know. And they still don't want him to know, because he gets upset about this stuff. And it's so pathetic. It's so ridiculous. So, anyway, so it moved on from that. You know, he just said, be prepared. Oh, she was saying, where is he? When is he coming back? Do you know where he is? Can you help me find him? I don't want him to get hurt. That's why I asked you to lie. You know how he gets sometimes, and whatever. I can't with Benny right now. I just don't like how his character is acting. Anyway, then there's Veronica and that guy that she hired. And that guy she hired, it just, I don't know about this scene. And she basically is saying, you know, what's going on. He's giving her an update, what's going on. And she's like, what have you been doing? Because I want to make sure I'm safe. And he's like, you know, she's like, I'm tired of sitting around all the time. And he said, well, I'm tracking the people who are tracking you. That's what I'm doing. And she's like, well, how I know it's safe for me to go out? Because I might want to go out tonight. And he was like, don't worry, it's safe. You know, and he said, if you go out, I won't be too far. I was like, okay. She said, because, you know, she said, you know, how did she say? My body is too pretty to have holes in it. And he said, I understand that. I said, oh, snap. But then it was funny when she asked him, how's Jim? She asked, how's Jim crying? Or where's Jim? He said, Jim's in the hospital. And where's his wife? And he said, she's in prison. He said, not that wife, David. Because you know David is like Jim's little puppy dog. Like, he just do everything just about Jim tell him to do. You know, and he said, David. He said, oh, he's in between his house and the hospital. So, of course, Jim's of the wife, David. So, then they move on to Hannah. And Hannah and the accountant. I can't remember that accountant's name for anything. But, you know, they're finishing up. It's late. He's asking, do you want me to stay? Because, you know, the people are coming over to talk. And she's like, no. But when they showed the coming attraction, when he said, you want me to stay, I thought he was talking about spending the night. I was like, no, Hannah, not. I said, I was like, this Christian man is asking to spend the night with Hannah that quick. Thank God they showed the whole thing because I was shocked, you know. And so he tells her once again she's beautiful and he wants to take her out to dinner. He asks her, he said, I'm going to kick myself if I don't ask. And he asks her and she's like, ooh, ooh. You know, Hannah got that big old butt. That's what the problem is, you know. But anyway, of course, she turns him down like she always does. And he said, you know, he said you would do that. And she's like, who said that? And he said, Pastor. Pastor said you turn down more men than you turn down more men than you say yes to, or something like that. And she said, well, I'm glad he's watching. He said, well, Jesus watching too. I said, amen. Hallelujah. And so she was laughing, but he said it's a good thing that she's selective, you know. So that was their little scene, you know. But she did say she would like to go out with him, but just give her a minute. She got a lot going on, and that's true, you know, so let me get through this stuff. And he understood, which was nice. I think they would make a nice couple. He got that dark chocolate skin and everything, and Hannah do too. I think they make a real good couple. She needs somebody, a nice man, you know. Anyway, then there's Veronica, and Veronica shows up to Justin's house. Oh my God, did you send those girls to my house? He wouldn't let her in. So his brother comes out and lets her in, and he's like, who's this? And she said, I'm the queen. I think she said she was the queen at first, but Justin's so scared of her. I mean, what did she really do to Justin? And he's so damn scared of Veronica. He knows she don't play though. And he was so scared of her. And she said, you and Jeffrey sent those girls to my house. And he said, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. And she's like, did you stop shaking? She said, you've been shaking in your panties and stuff. Pull your panties up. You're going to be okay or something like that. But he said he didn't do it. Her brother keeps still saying, who's this? Who's this? And she was later said, I'm that bitch. First she said, I'm the bitch's fairy godmother. That's what she said, talking about Justin. And then he's looking at her like, what? Justin, who is this? You know, Veronica just don't play. She don't play around. But then, you know, he finally said, what do you want? Can you leave, please? Or whatever it is. And he's like, what are you going to do? Because he thinks Veronica's going to do something to him. And she's like, I ain't nobody thinking about you. I ain't doing nothing, you know. But before she left, she turned back around and said, I'm Jeffrey Harrington's mother. The one your brother sexually harassed in the back of his police car. And he was like, really? And she's like, oh, you didn't know about that? You didn't know? Yes, that's what he does. And then she leaves. So that was that. What else happened, guys? I'm so tired. Who was next? Who was next? Oh, Benny. So Benny makes it finally to the hotel. And he's talking to Candace. And first thing he comes in, did you tell Mitch to lie to me? Did you tell Mitch to lie to me? And I was sitting there going, wait a minute. How is that the first thing he says? When Mitch said, he never said that Candace told him to lie. And we never heard Mitch mention Candace at all. So here we go with this writing on the Have and Have Nots. Tyler Perry's people, your writers, y'all mix these scenes up a lot of times, and you have words going back and forth. You repeat a lot of stuff, and I'm like, what is happening here? It didn't make sense that he walked in with that being the first thing he said, you know, and of course, you know, Candace is like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? You know, what are you talking about? He's like, give me your phone. Give me your phone. She's like, what? Benny, what is going on? Give me your phone. You know, I want to see if Mitch is calling you. Mitch is calling me. And he said, yeah, you know, I found that dude. He said, you know, I found that dude. I found Derek. He raped Mama. You know, she said, what did you do? What did you do? He said, I bust his ass. I beat his ass and the punk wouldn't even get up. He wouldn't even get up. But like I told y'all, y'all know why Derek didn't get up. He didn't want to mess up Benny and then beat up Benny and then what? Like I said, Derek ain't no David. He would have beat up Benny and then Hannah really would have been mad at him. And that's not what he wanted, you know. So he said, she said, look, Candace was like, look, Benny, I didn't want you to do anything crazy. You know, I didn't want you to get in trouble. And, you know, that was a long time ago. You need to let it go. You need to leave it alone. And she said, what was you doing at the Cry's house anyway? He said, I went to ask Mama. She's like, you need to stay away from that house. Dude, you stole his money. And then you keep going by his house. Not to mention he had you kidnapped. You could have been dead if Candace didn't call in a favor from Mitch's family. It's like, damn, are you going to learn anything? She's like, let it go. And he's like, she said, it's a work in progress. She said, Mama don't want to see him either. You know, nor do I, but it's a work in progress. You know, and he's like, what? He's like, y'all just gonna let this go? Like, y'all just gonna let this go? She said, man, Benny, please. You'd be surprised at the things the black woman has to let go just to make it through this life. You know, and I said, you better tell him, Candace, you know. Just get over it, she said, you know. And he said, that's easy for you to say. And she's like, he's my father. I'm his daughter. It's not easy for me to say. That's my dad, you know. And then she kept saying, I wouldn't be here. Think about it. If that hadn't happened, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be your sister. Do you understand? Look at that. Think about that. And he had to think about it for a minute. I was like, damn, Benny. That happened when you were a baby. Stop. Let it go. Let God take care of it. Let go. Let God, I say. Yeah. You know. Who else? Then they kept to Madison and Jeff, and they chit-chatting and talking. And it seems like Madison is a little jealous that he's asking Jeffrey, does he like his friend Colby? And Jeffrey's like, yeah, I do like him. He said, oh, you do like him? He said, yeah, I like that he's fearless, you know. And he said, oh, you getting jealous, you know. And, of course, you could tell Madison was. You could see the expression on his face. And so Madison, you know, Jeffrey said, look, I'll just take you. I'll take you out. He said, okay, I'm going to take you out to dinner. He said, why are you going to take me out? He said, because you know what? We need to talk. We need to talk. He said, because, you know, Madison helped me to realize that, no, Colby helped him to realize that they needed to talk, you know. So that, you know, that worked. He helped him see Madison better and who Madison is. And so they do need to discuss that stuff, I think. So when he's going to get dressed, here come Veronica in with the mask on her face. I was like, I don't know what that was all about, why she had that on. And she's like, ew, you know. Is this where that thing is keeping you? I said, here we go again. And, you know, Madison's telling her to get out. He going to get the police. And he says it about 3-4 times. Don't move and dial a phone. And she keep telling him to go ahead and do it. And, of course, Jeffrey is trying to stand up for him and stuff. And, you know, and, of course, Veronica calling everybody a girl. Is this where that girl keeps you? And, oh, my God. And he's like, how did you get in my house anyway? And she said, you know, you girls, your wrists are too loose to lock the door. I said, Lord Jesus. Oh, my God. I said, okay, Veronica, you're funny. And he, you know, Jeffrey saying, I'm getting mad. I want, you know, and she's like, so what? He said, you know what I did before when I get mad? She said, I want your bitch ass to try it again. I want you to do it again. I want to see you do it again. And, you know, all these threats that are going. Madison's threatening what he going to do. Jeffrey threatening. And then he said, I'm going to push out myself. And he put a hand. She's like, get your hand off me. And he said, she said, you don't mess with this $5,000 dress. That was the part. He said, bitch, please. He was like, girl, so much for that. What did she say? He said, I seen that dress on the rack at on the sales rack for $85, and I laughed. She said, of course you girls would know where to shop for girls, you know. And he's like, you know, I got a restraining on you, Ma. And she said, so does your father, but I don't care. You know, Veronica's like, I don't care. And while they, while they leaving, they do it again. Kobe comes in and he's like, oh shit, like my life wasn't bad, my night wasn't bad enough. So here they go. Here he goes. And he's being old Kobe, which is the flamboyant gaze, just out there. And he goes in on her and she's just not even caring. Veronica don't care. She just wanted his name. And they're like, don't tell. And because he's so fearless, he told her his full name, Kobe Jones Willis. And so that's what she kept saying. Okay, Kobe Willis. And she ended up leaving, even though he was making a scene. Let's show her how we do it. And they keep saying, stop, Kobe, stop, Kobe. Madison was like, stop, Kobe. Jeffrey was like, stop, Kobe. And Kobe just kept on. So he's one of those people that don't learn from stuff. So they need to show him getting, like, not to be mean, but get hurt up because he don't know when to stop. Sometimes people take stuff too far and they don't know when to stop. And he's one of them that needs to know to stop. Then let's see. Then there's, Laura and Samuel. And they're talking and he's like, I don't trust Veronica. And he said, Derek said not to. And she's like, I don't care. I like these clothes. She said, I like them. I could get used to this in her house and driving that car and all this stuff. And he was like, nah, I don't trust her. I don't want to do it. And she was saying something about taking, what did she say? He said, I really don't want to take this old bitch. And she said something about, well, as long as you're not sleeping with her, it shouldn't be a problem or something like that. As long as you're not sleeping with her. He said, where are you coming from with that? Ain't nobody sleeping with her. She said, well, you the one that said that she be flirting with you and stuff. Yeah, but I don't mean I'm doing anything. So that means Samuel is a freaking cheater. That's why she has to keep saying it. She did say that when we first met them, when we were first introduced to them, she made a comment about sleeping with people. So I guess Samuel's a cheater. So she wanted to kiss him and he wouldn't kiss her until she took off that wig. He said, take off that crazy wig and then I'll kiss you. And as soon as she left out that room, I swear Veronica must have ESP. She like got antennas or something because as soon as Laura walked out the room, she texted Samuel to come over. And he wrote, I think he wrote no or something like that. And no, are you alone? Can you talk? And he wrote no. And then she texted him a bunch of money laid out on the bed, and he called her. She said, I thought that would get your attention or something like that. And I'm like, dude, really? So he ended up going over there and he lied and said that, what did he lie? He lied and said that he told he told his wife that he was with his boys. That's right. He's going out with a friend. And I was like, that's a damn shame that he would do that. But when he talked to her, she was saying, she said that she was doing some digging on him. And she found out about Regina. And he was like, Regina? I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I don't know no damn Regina. And he's like, that was a long time ago. Obviously, you know her. But now all of a sudden, that was a long time ago or something like that. So she said to come over, and he came over. He made his excuse. She wanted to know what he's up to because she knows that something's up. That she feel like they're trying to take her. And basically, that's what they were trying to do. But I think there was something else going on that they were supposed to be doing for Derek. If anybody knows, put it down in the chat. Wasn't there something else happening? Why Derek... they were doing this. I thought they were doing something that they was going to get back at her for Derek. And Derek was going to be somewhere in this plan. I don't remember. But so at the house, when he gets to the house, when he shows up to the house, she wants him, she takes him upstairs, and she offers him a drink, and he's saying, I don't drink. She said, you said you were faithful also, but that was a lie. I said, well, she got him there. What else? I'm trying to think everything that happened. Oh my God. But he kept saying, Miss Harrington, I don't feel good about this. I don't feel good about this. And she said, oh, you really love her, don't you? And he said, yeah, I love my wife. She said, but why did you lie to me about your kid? You ain't got no kids. You don't have no kids. She said, you lie. You trying to hustle an old woman, you know? And he was like, nah, it's not like that or something. So they're in the bedroom and she's laying on the bed looking at him. He's standing there crazy. And she told him to close the door. And she said, let me upgrade you. You know, leave that little girl alone and get with me, you know. I was like, I should have known it was Samuel. I didn't know if it was Samuel or that security guy, but that makes sense that it's Samuel. And she's just laying on the money in this cute little black little negligee thingy with her red bottom shoes on. I said, you better go, Ronnie. Go, Ronnie. Go, Veronica. I'll be wanting some of her outfits myself. So she tells him to take off his clothes and stuff, and he takes off his shirt. She's like, take off everything. He take off the pants, and he pours himself a drink, and she said, show me what you got. You know, show me what you got. I said, oh, shoot. He said, you got condoms? And she's like, yeah. And so he comes out with, I think it's a gold one. And she said, oh, so that's the size you get? So I'm like, is the gold the magnum size or something? I said, but didn't they do something earlier that they never showed us a scene about? But it looked like when she said, show me what you got or what you're working or what you can do, I thought that they did something last week when she took him upstairs. So these scenes, like I said, they not, the script is wrong. The way they wording stuff and saying stuff, I don't know. Y'all tell me. Like I said, I could be wrong, but the script seemed like it's not going the right way. This seemed like this was going to be their first time, but the way she was saying things, but we know that they did something already. Anyway, that's them writers. What else happened? So, you know, he gets on top of her and her legs go wrap around him and ooh, her red bottoms are up in the air. Then there's what's his name? Oh, David and Alyssa. So they show David and Alyssa in bed. And you know, she working on him. She working on David. Ooh, ooh. And David said, that's enough, you know, get off and stuff, you know. He's like, this is crazy. And she's like, what? You know, us in this bed. And she's like, I understand. She said, I know what's going on. You're thinking about Erica, right? He said that amongst other things. And, you know, and she's like, suggest that he gets therapy. And she was like, therapy? I don't need therapy. She said, isn't that what you rich people do? Y'all get therapy? Like, and she drinks, like, I don't know. They never said that I know of how much money David is worth. But I don't know if they worth millions like the Criers are. I don't know. I'm curious now about this. And then it's like, he asked to see her cell phone. And she went to gets it. He tell her unlock it and everything. And he starts looking through it. And he said, aren't you going to ask me what I'm looking for? And she's like, no, I'm not going to ask. Like, she good with that. And he's scrolling through the phone and stuff. And he takes the phone and he gives her a new phone. And she's like, oh, he said, this is your new phone. He said, is there anything you need to transfer from the other phone? And she's like, nope, nope, nope. Then he asks, who is Nick? Why Nick texting so much? And she's like, because of what I just did to you. And he said, what you did to me? And she's like, hello, I just laid it on you. And he said, oh, got it. So she's like, let's talk about my house. And he said, your house? He said, you said an apartment. She said, yeah, but you rich. I need a house now. He's like, I'm not getting you no house. Oh, she said, oh, yeah, you going to get me a house. One way or the other, you going to buy me a home. And he's like, what does that mean? And I was sitting there going, what does that mean? Because that sounds like a threat. I said, what, this child going to start threatening people? Who going to help you? You threaten them. And next thing you know, she get up and put that same blue dress on she had on since we met her. I don't know where her clothes are. And she bangs her arm in the wall. I said, crazy, crazy, crazy. Child is crazy. She know he a judge. She the one need therapy. He was right. She need therapy. She bangs her arm and then yells, help, help, he raped me, and runs into his security downstairs. He's like, what's going on? She said, call the police, call the police. He raped me, and she runs out the house screaming. I said, ain't this a damn something going on? This girl is crazy. She need a lot of help. And he tells the security, go get her. Just go get crazy, okay? I said, wow, that was crazy. And then it ended with some lady walking her dog. I was like, well, who's this new character walking her dog? And she walking her little dog at night, and you see Wyatt in his car hanging over. And I'm sitting there going, now y'all tell me, why did they have to do that? Why couldn't they just leave him in his car and let him die with his tinted with the windows closed and nobody would saw it? They obviously wanted somebody to find him. They wanted somebody to find him. Because if you just wanted him to die, you could have set him in his car with the windows closed with the motor running or something. You know, or left him in there in a secluded place with the doors closed. Why they leave him hanging out with the door wide open did not make any sense. These are supposed to be gangsters. This is supposed to be the mob. Mob don't do no work like that. Mob get rid of bodies. They put a brick on your foot and leave you in the bottom of the ocean. They in construction, so they bury you under some cement. But they don't cut your wrists and leave you halfway out your car with the door open. So that scene was real dumb to me. Not for nothing, but it was. So that was our season finale. It didn't leave me with a, oh, I can't wait till next season. No, I didn't get that feeling from this. We didn't see Jim in this episode. We didn't see Catherine, you know. And that scene with Candace, they could have left that out. That wasn't a big deal, but I guess they had to show Benny upset. But like I said, I'm tired of Benny and the way they have him acting and being upset and stuff. Anyway, this is your girl, Barbie J, saying see you on November 24th. Everybody go out and vote. Vote, vote, vote like your life depended on it. Please go vote. We need to get a change in this world. It is so important. It is so important. If you do nothing else after seeing this video, even if you didn't watch it to the end, please, subliminal message, go vote. It is so important right now. This administration is crazy. They don't care about nobody but themselves staying rich. Okay? God bless you guys. And this is your girl, Barbie J, saying peace.